First clean out of the goat shelter. Goats are not happy with me apparently. Anyways, you can kind of see it behind me, but we put probably 10 inches of manure and straw down. We're just clearing this section out right now because we're getting close to kidding time, and we're going to build some kidding pens right here, or jugs, you might want to call them. So we wanted to get down to the ground, and then we're going to put some hay or straw back on top of it so that whenever it's time for kidding, we'll have some clean, fresh bedding for them to be on. This will be really good to put in our garden here, and we're going to take the rest of it. We're going to mix a little bit in with our garden. We're going to take the rest of it and compost it and get it ready to break down and use next year in the garden. I usually try and design these things, but they don't tend to work out even when I design them. So I think what I'm going to do is I've got a bunch of wood and I've got kind of an idea of what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to start building it because that seems to work just as good as me drawing it up in some kind of computer-aided drafting program. What we're going to do is we're going to just start putting the wood down. I'm going to take some measurements first. I'm not going to just go at it halfway. And take some measurements first and try and get a feel for exactly how much room I have to work with and kind of where these supports are. What I'm going to try and do is build them about 5 by 4. We'll have a gate on this end, and what that probably means is I'm going to have to move all this other hay right here too. Anyway, stay tuned. I kicked the goats out so that they couldn't bother me while I was building, and then I took the old feeder out which was in the way. I laid out the 4 by 5 pins with the baseboards on the bottom. Those were all pressure treated, and screwed them into the 4 by 4 base structure of the goat shelter. Unfortunately, it actually started to rain pretty hard and the goats got pretty upset, so I ended up going ahead and letting them back in, and they inspected my work. But after I cranked the drill back up for the first time, they decided they didn't want to be in there with me and they'd prefer to stand out in the rain as opposed to be around the impact wrench. Anyways, we built these well before the goats were supposed to be born. We didn't actually know exactly when they were supposed to be born. We thought March 30th was a good date, but as it turns out, the buck was put in a little bit later than we thought, and I don't think that they were actually cycling when the buck went in. So there was a couple of weeks where we were just going out daily and checking and kind of not finding anything. You'll see a little bit more of that this video. Anyways, I got the base all done. Now time to move onto the walls. So we're doing pretty good. We've got pretty much all the framework up. Let's get a little bit more of it in there. Pretty much all the framework up. I have some wire that I could put on here, but I have to bring the staple gun and the pneumatic stapler and everything up here. And I'm thinking I may just throw some plywood on these things because it's just so much faster. I can just put it up there, I can cut it, screw it in, and it'll take me no time. So the plywood cost me $14 a sheet. If I do that, it'll probably save me a couple of hours. We are almost done with the, what are those things called? Kidding pins, jugs. But we need something to feed them in while they stay in there. So we're in the old barn right now, and there's a bunch of junk in here, but we're trying to use some of it instead of just throwing it all away. So they've got these old horse feeders, and we found 3 of them. This keeps me from having to build something out of nothing, which is nice. We'll get these off and take them over and install them in the new place. Alright, there we go. Hey look, we're bringing some wire with us. Not really, we'll leave that here. Daisy, what are you doing in there, huh? Yeah, you're scared. Go on. Get out. So, okay, that's good. That's good enough. Last thing we're going to put in here, except for some bedding and stuff in the bottom, is we got to put some buckets for some water in. I want the buckets to be removable. I may not even put the buckets in at the very beginning just because I want it low enough to where they can drink of it, but I also do not want the buckets to where they can back up to them and give birth into the bucket. Okay, so the question is, like, how high to put it. Okay. There we go. Water bucket. Kidding pins are done. Got some old hay and straw down. Bucket for water that's removable on the carabiner. High enough that she's not going to give birth in it. And a feeder on the back wall. And of course, a door that opens. There we go. Pora. Let's go check and see if any goats are giving birth. All right. Nope. No baby goats. Checking for baby goats again. Let's see what we find. One of you squeeze a baby out. It's taking forever. Welcome to sunrise on Buckwheat Hollow Farm. It's a really cold night last night, so we're going out to check and see how the goats are doing and make sure we don't have any babies that are being born in this really cold weather. Good morning. Still no babies. Stress you, Mama. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Got one in the front.